Hey guys, welcome to Fox Answers, where I take Yahoo answers and I answer them the Fox way. So today we are in sports. Which NFL team should I root for is the question. I'm a 15-year-old boy. I am kind of new to following the NFL. I am thinking about the New York Football Giants, Miami Dolphins, Washington Redskins, Chicago Bears, maybe Philadelphia Eagles. Which have the best loyal fans? Which have a good history? Which have best owners, coaches, and administration? Are these bandwagon-based teams? Do any of these teams have a chance of winning a Super Bowl, at least in the distant future? Any suggestions? Don't be biased. I'm glad you asked this. The answer that I give you is which NFL team. A lot of people think that a bandwagon is a bad thing. The original term bandwagon comes from back in the day when they didn't have a lot of good entertainment, before TV, before kind of barbershop quartets. They had bandwagons, and what they would do is they'd have an actual live band driving around the streets, riding around the streets, horse-pulled carriages, oxen maybe, and they'd have these live bands. People loved bandwagons. They were the talk of the town. Sometimes, if you were lucky, they'd get a piano up on the wagon. They were real heavy back then, and they still are today, but they didn't have keyboards. So bandwagons are actually a really good term for what people like and what people should do and follow. They were setting the new music trends back in the day. And so I would pick a bandwagon team. Right now, this year, I hear that the Seahawks are a bandwagon team. So if you're interested in following the Seattle Seahawks, looks like you also want to follow maybe the Philadelphia Eagles. And I'll give you that one because they're both birds. You really want to go with what the mascot is. That's how I make my team decisions. A lot of times when I'm betting, whichever team is playing, I will bet on the team to win that has the more, whatever mascot would win in a fight. If it's the Tigers versus the Seahawks, I would say the Tigers would win the match. Now it gets a little tricky with like the Tigers and the Giants. I mean, a tiger can take down a regular sized man, but a giant, who knows? As well as, a redskin. Well, a redskin might be able to beat a tiger. I've seen a lot of movies where the Indians were doing some real cool stuff. It's really an interesting thing with dolphins and tigers. Are they fighting in the water? Are they fighting on the land? That's going to make a big difference in this battle. Is there a mix of both? And that's where it gets a little iffy, a little tricky. A bear versus a tiger is it's like, I'm going to watch that game. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be very interested in what's going on because tiger and bears, that's a fight I want to see, And so you got to follow the mascot. Which ones have the best loyal fans? I'd say every team has its best and loyal fans. Occasionally, things like the Raiders. You don't expect them to have these nice, fun fans because Raiders are bad people. They raid villages and things. The fans are going to be following that kind of mascot ideology. When you're talking about a good history, well, what are we talking about? Did these teams own slaves? Are we talking about did these teams support rights for women voting? There's all these kind of different historical facts that I don't know if they're going to play into your decision. There's no real good history book of which teams had the best history, which have the best owners, coaches, and administration. Once again, to the mascot thing. A good owner and a good coach is going to make sure that they have a good mascot. So you're going to want to pick teams that have good mascots. Are these bandwagon teams? We already went over that. Do any of these teams have a chance winning a Super Bowl, at least in the distant future? The best thing about this is every team has a chance of winning in the distant future because we don't know what the future looks like yet in the distant future. We may not even play football in the distant future. And that's what's kind of fun about technology evolving, people changing, their desires to watch certain things change. As far as the immediate and the near future, it's kind of up in the air as well. There's no way to really tell. There's certain teams that are doing better than others, certainly. But like I said, the trite and true way to pick a team is picking the one with your favorite mascot. If you have a favorite animal, pick it. Regardless of whether or not it would win in a fight. I know that's kind of a thing. Even if your team sucks, you still support them in the thick and the thin. So just because they have your favorite animal, that is reason enough to support them. I hope that answers your question. Good luck for your team, whatever sports team it is that you decide to follow. And I will catch you next time on Fox Answers.